Hey gamers, welcome to the week of Nintendo again, and this is the final recap of my 100 NTSC Super Nintendo boxed games. And then the first game we've got for you is the classic Prince of Persia from Konami. Absolutely fantastic title. This is superb platforming game, iconic music, iconic platform action, just an all-round superb game. There have been many formats of this game on different systems, but this one to me is my favourite version of the game. Picked this up on day of release and literally more or less done the whole game in one sitting. I was that hooked on it. Absolutely fantastic title and a must own for the SNES. That is Prince of Persia. The next one is this one, which is Prince of Persia 2, and a very disappointing sequel, unfortunately. This one was made by Titus. Graphically poor. Control system is absolutely horrific. The game itself just doesn't play well at all. It had potential to be a very good sequel, but was dearly let down by the controls and the gameplay itself. So if you're not a collector, avoid this at all costs. And that is Prince of Persia 2. On to this cracker of a game, that's Sonic Blastman, the arcade hit. Absolutely fantastic game, loosely based off the arcade game. This is a side-scrolling action beat-em-up. Big, massive, bright, beautiful, colourful characters. Great, superb fighting action game. The bonus sections of this game are the actual sections that you actually find in the arcade game, but they've added the side-scrolling beat-em-up element to it, and it works really, really well. Fantastic game, and this one does have a very expensive and very hard to find sequel. So that's Sonic Blastman. And then we have the classic Operation Logic Bomb, a very overlooked game. I love this game, picked it up by chance many years ago. Such a good top-down shoot 'em up with slight puzzle elements, big boss battles, and as I say, very enjoyable game. And really overlooked as far as I'm concerned, and a must for any Super Famicom owner or the NTSC format version, and that is Operation Logic Bomb. And the next one is a rarity again, which I've kept in my collection. This is Pocky and Rocky, a very nice top-down cute 'em up, graphically brilliant. As I say, music iconic, and is a very challenging game for what it is. Picked up again by chance, but absolutely thoroughly worth picking up. Fantastic game, and it does yet again have a very expensive and a very hard to come by sequel on the NTSC format, but brilliant game, and that's Pocky and Rocky. And the next one is the classic Pilot Wings. Absolutely superb game. This one uses mode 7 all the way through the game. 4 great challenges, and then a secret mission at the end. Number of different skill settings, but this is hard to master, so be prepared to get frustrated a lot. But once you master the controls, the game is actually a very good game to play, and that is Pilot Wings. And the next one is the Rocketeer, movie based. Love the film, so I thought I'd try the game out, and the game is slightly disappointing. Graphically ain't great, and only has 4 sections within the game, and it's just prime points from the film. But would have liked to have seen more in levels on this game, but still, it is what it is, and I didn't pay through the nose for it, but still a nice little title. That's Rocketeer. And the next one is the classic Saturday Night Slam Masters, the only wrestling game I've actually got in my collection, I think. But this one is a cracking little game. Unrealistic wrestlers, big, bold, bright characters. This has got Mike Hagger introduced into the game. My sort of game, just a one-off and not a yearly update like most of the newer wrestling games that are about, which I hate. But this is one wrestling game I did enjoy, and that is Saturday Night Slam Masters. On to this one, which is Wario Woods. I thought it was a platforming game, and I was very wrong. It's a puzzle game. I thought it was going to be a platform game originally, but unfortunately it's a puzzle game. Not my style of game, but still part of the Mario universe as far as I'm concerned, so I've just kept it in the collection nevertheless. But as I say, not my style of gameplay, but to everybody's taste, everybody's different. Somebody may like this game, but it's still a nice game to have in the collection. That's Wario Woods. And the next one is the Terminator, and what a big disappointment this was. Graphically rubbish, gameplay terrible. The Mega Drive actually outclasses this game, even though the Mega Drive is a very short game, but still a much better game than this one, believe me. Disappointments all round with this, and enough said about the Terminator. On to the very classic Zombies Ate My Neighbours, 55 undeadly levels, and there are 55 undeadly levels indeed. Very challenging, top-down puzzle slash shoot 'em up, load of secrets, and very, very challenging. Never got halfway through this game. It's such a hard game to complete. I'd love to get to the end and see the final boss, which is a huge spider apparently, but I can't see that happening. But I'm just going to give it a shot. But looking forward to getting the sequel next year, which is what is it, Ghoul Patrol? So hopefully be picking her up shortly. But this great title, Zombies Ate My Neighbours. And then on to the classic Zelda: Link to the Past. If you're a Super Nintendo owner, you must own this game. It is such an iconic top-down adventure, action adventure. Iconic music, iconic gameplay, does everything about it is fantastic. You've got to say, if you're an owner, you've owned Legend of Zelda and you've completed it. It's just one of them things that has to be done if you're a Super Nintendo owner, as far as I'm concerned. It's just a game you must sit down and play because it's an absolute legend of a game. And that is Zelda: Link to the Past. And the next one is a very good platformer indeed, and this is a very late release for the Super Nintendo, Disney's Pinocchio. Graphically, it is absolutely fantastic. They pushed the console to its limits with this game. Such fantastic graphics for this game, and the platform action is not bad at all. Some quite challenging little levels within this game, and as I say, very, very playable and not that expensive either, but a definite one for platform fans. If you haven't played this before, give it a shot. It's Disney's Pinocchio. Moving on to NBA Jam. At the time, I really did enjoy this, loved it in the arcade, so I bought the NTSC American version, 2-on-2 basketball game with some of your iconic legendary basketball stars from the past. Don't play it as much as I do or used to from years ago, but as I say, at the time I really enjoyed this game, but as I say, I don't play it as much lately, but still not a bad, and probably one of my favourite basketball games that was ever brought out. So that's NBA Jam. Now this one is another one-on-one. It's NBA AllStar Challenge. This one I got part of a package when I bought my Super Nintendo, so I've just kept it in the collection for collection purposes, to be honest. But same again, some iconic basketball characters from the past playing one-on-one. Not much to say about this, as I say, because I'm not the greatest basketball fan, but still a nice little game to add into the collection. So that's NBA All-Star Challenge. Onto a fighter, and that is Mortal Kombat Competition Edition. This isn't a bad game, to be honest. It's just basically on par with the Mega Drive as far as I'm concerned graphically. The Mega Drive does have the added advantage of having the blood in it, where we don't, which is a strange thing to have done. But the sequel does put that right, unfortunately. Or should I say, fortunately. But still, I'm glad to have this one, and the sequel will be inbound very soon. But that is the Mortal Kombat Competition Edition. Moving on to the classic rock and roll racing, definitely on par with F-Zero as being one of the best races on the system. Great top-down racing game, a variety of vehicles, loads of planets to race on, classic rock music. It's just got it all, basically. It's a fun 1 or 2 player game and a must for racing fans if you love racing titles and rock music. End of story. So that's rock and roll racing. The next one is The Death and Return of Superman. Not a bad side-scrolling action game. It's alright actually. It's got 4 Superman from the different time zones. Basically, you play as each one after the death of Superman, and that's about it really. But it's a nice side-scrolling action beat-em-up. Definitely a rare one for the collection, but definitely glad to have that. And that's Death and Return of Superman. And the next one is another character from the comic universe, which is Wolverine Adamantium Rage. Yes, it's LJN again. And it's very similar to Spider-Man in most respects. It's got the same side-scrolling action platform formula, very tough challenge, and yet again a massive array of enemies to stop you in your tracks. A very challenging game indeed, and this one is quite sought after as well. But I love my Wolverine, and that is Wolverine Adamantium Rage. And the next one is yet again, this is X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, very similar to the War of the Gems. Basically different set of characters this time round, same Street Fighter-esque moves the characters can do, but nice platform action, big bosses, and a very, very tough challenge. So that is X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. And the next one is the classic Nosferatu, a very good platform game. This is Prince of Persia / Castlevania. That's all I can say about this. Very, very good game indeed. The game is a strange mix of the two. No weapons involved in this. You just actually beat up the characters as you go along, but with the platform elements of Prince of Persia. But you're on a time limit to get through the entire game and to beat the boss at the end. So it's a very, very tough challenge. But this is also quite a hard title to find, and that is Nosferatu. Onto the greatest side-scrolling beat-em-up of all time, and that is definitely Turtles in Time. Absolutely iconic game, and a must-own for any Super Nintendo owner. It's such a fantastic, colourful, playable one-player or two-player game. It is a fantastic game. This is enough said about this game. If you own a Super Nintendo, make this the first choice you buy. It's just a fantastic game, and that is Turtles in Time. And the next one is Turtles Tournament Fighters, a great one-on-one beat-em-up, good variety of characters, but the only issue about this is the fact that the actual game, the control system, is very difficult to master, so it makes the game quite difficult to play. But apart from that, if you can master the controls, the game is a very good game to own, and that is Turtles Tournament Fighters. And the next one is a classic side-scrolling action beat-em-up, a very rare one at that as well. That is Ninja Warriors. Brilliant game this is, absolutely brilliant graphics, big bold characters, great platform action, or should I say side-scrolling beat-em-up action with some proper bosses in it, good challenge. And as I say, one definitely to have in the collection, but very, very difficult to come by, complete. I'm very happy to own this thing. I've kept it in the collection. So that's Ninja Warriors. And the final game, guys, is where I left off last time, Knights of the Round by Capcom. Absolutely fantastic side-scrolling slash 'em up this one is. Got 3 players to choose from, 3 different knights, and you basically go through level by level trying to search for the legendary grail. Definitely one of the rarer ones to have in the collection. As I say, I waited a while to get onto this one, and I picked it up only just recently, but absolutely fantastic game to have. Very happy to have that. And that is the final game in my 100 games in my collection up to date. So thank you very much, guys, for watching the week of Nintendo. I did have an issue on episode 2. I had to reload the actual episode back in because it only uploaded half the episode. So if you want to go back to that and watch the rest, and please re-comment and re-thumbs up if you don't mind, that'd be great. But as I say, thanks very much for watching the week of Nintendo, guys. Hope you enjoyed the collection, and I will be back with some more Nintendo goodness real soon. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. And as always, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, guys. Keep watching. All the best.